because they don't actually want to pay you.
Story of my life.
All right, Philip. I know we said we was gonna pay you, but I don't think I actually want to do that right now.
Oh, come on. Can't you just... Even half, that's all I'm asking for. I just need a little bit to get back on my feet.
Half. We're surrounded by 3 dudes right now, all looking pretty mean. One of them is smoking a cigar and he flicks the ashes at you in contempt. Well, what am I gonna tell my boss Tony, if I'm just throwing money away like this when I could be cutting him some costs?
Well, if you really want to cut costs for your boss, Tony, I'll do some more work for you. But please,
Yeah.
just throw a few points my way. That's all I'm asking for.
Shut up! He slaps you.
Ah!
While this is happening, Alex, you are taking a stroll in the town right now, and you spot across the street 3 thugs roughing up some street bum.
Hey, what y'all doing?
Oh,
Hey.
no! Oh!
Hey, quiet! Gonna bring the coppers on us, Philip. Anyway, what's it to you, eh?
Listen, I don't want any trouble around this end of town, and I feel like I've seen you buddies causing issues before.
Yeah? What are you gonna do about it?
Listen, I run the breweries out of like 8 out of the dozen speakeasies around here, and I don't need any business from the coppers coming our way. So either you shoot your assholes off, or I'll make sure you're not entering any of those bars in the next 5 years.
The shortest one of the group takes a look around and then inches a little closer to you. Well. There's 3 of us and 1 of you. And one of him, I guess, but he ain't gonna be doing anything soon. I think if we really wanted to, we would just beat you senseless, and then you wouldn't be able to tell anyone about us. Besides, you don't even know our names.
I know your names.
No, you don't. Quiet, you.
Do I or have I worked for their boss? Like, have we had business?
I'm trying to. Alright, give me a regular luck check.
Do I just click look?
Yeah. You have not worked for their boss in the past. You overheard them, however, mention the name Tony, because they were being a little enthusiastic when they were beating up on Philip. But you don't know any boss by the name of Tony. While you're thinking, you do notice a police car a couple blocks away. The officers are just standing by, chilling. Having a
Okay.
quick smoke.
I scream really, really loud. I'm like, help, these men are assaulting me.
And they stole my money.
The police officers from down the block look over in your direction and start jogging over. Seeing this happen, the 3 thugs spit at your feet and scamper off. The police officers catch up to you. Both a little chubby, breathing heavily. Hey,
Oh,
hey, little lady.
officers.
No, what's happening? Is this the guy assaulting you, man? They both pull out their nightsticks and start looking at Philip.
Wait, does Philip look like a? Does he look?
He's a bum, like straight
I'm a hobo.
grimy as fuck.
No, sir. I was just getting home, and like I was giving some money to this poor man here, when those three men tried to assault me and steal my everything.
It's
Hey,
true.
which hey, shut up, you fucking bum. Anyway, which direction were they going off in it?
Over there, sir.
All right, don't worry, young lady, we'll catch them. And then they jog off. And suddenly, it's you and the bum on the street.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I don't know what I would have done without your help.
Seriously, we don't need this kind of business around this town, you know? So, why are they trying to rough you up anyways?
Well, you see, their boss hired me to help them design some tools for some kind of job he's got going on. But when it came time for them to pay me, they decided they wouldn't, and that's when you wandered over. Don't worry about it though. This kind of stuff seems to happen to me all the time.
You're creating things for them, were you?
Yep, supposed to be creating them some stuff for them for money, but apparently it ended up just being for free. That's the way these things go ever since that bastard Arun blacklisted me from all the major companies around here. I had to do work for these blasted criminals.
Well, tell you what. I'm not too fair of the fair side of law and myself, but I do need some new help with the new brewer I've got on. And looks like you wouldn't be able to reach out to the cops anyways. Tell you what, can't pay you much, but there's a spot and a roof to live under, and you'll get paid with like 2 fair meals every day. And if you can help me out with my, let's just say, under the Shadows Brewery, then, and help me set up this new machine we got in, make some nice new good tasting brew, we can work out a deal.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't quite hear anything you said after 2 fair meals a day, but whatever it was, I agree to it.
All right then, you're hired.
Speaking of 2 fair meals a day, Philip, you haven't really eaten anything yet today, and it's quickly becoming sunset, but you spot a nearby coffee shop that smells of nice, fresh donuts and coffee.
Say, ma'am, what do you say to a down payment for my services over at that coffee shop? In fact, I don't actually think I know your name. Maybe we could flesh out some of the details over there.
Name's Alexandra. You can just call me Alex. And
pleasure to
yeah,
meet you.
I'll treat you to a coffee and some bagel while you tell me what you know about distilleries.
All right,
Sounds fantastic.
So you two begin making your way over there. Elaine, you're already inside. You had just taken a copy of Moby Dick out from the library because you heard in the newspaper a famous author had mentioned that, Moby Dick was going to be the next great American novel. This naturally piqued your interest, so you just walked in and sat down and are enjoying yourself in the pretty empty, actually, coffee shop when these 2 individuals walk in.
Okay, I see one is basically a bum, and the other one is a bit more decent, but I'm just like, just go look down into my book a bit, try to stay out of their, I don't know what they're up to. Like a bum walks into a coffee shop, everyone just, turns away.
Alright, you 2 have just entered the coffee shop. There's some soft music playing on the radio. The barista is just sort of standing there looking kind of bored. A couple of tables sitting around. Elaine, or this, one of them is occupied in the corner by a girl reading a book.
I walk up to the barista and say to her, I'll have the nicest day-old bagels and donuts that you've got.
Do you have the money to afford it?
It's fine. 2 coffees and 2 bagels, please.
All right.
From today's batch? Oh, thank you very much.
All right, you take a seat.
All right. The barista goes to the coffee machine, starts preparing the order, then hands it over. While you're receiving your order, you pass by one of the pillars in the coffee shop, and you see a pretty prominent flyer, Alex.
I know what to say.
On. Alright, you guys should see this now, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to, or Alex, you're the only one who notices it right now, so feel free to read it out to you.
Investigators requested. I own the Corbett House, a wonderful old property in the heart of downtown Boston. Downtown is misspelled. A few months ago, a tragic accident struck, and my previous tenants have since left. I have been trying to find new ones, but there are strange happenings at the house, and I cannot, in good conscience, let it stand any longer. You will be paid in advance, Mr. Stephen Knott. With a K.
The barista notices you reading the flyer and pipes up. Pretty wealthy-looking gentleman walked in and put that up today. From what I gather, he's been trying to look for people to check out that old house for a while now.
Did he look rich?
He was pretty rich-looking.
I do need that down payment to start up that new machine. Take a glance at good old Philip.
I'm just eating bagels and drinking coffee right now. Gotta fill up my empty stomach somehow.
Alright, I'm gonna take this flyer with me.
Yoink. Grab the flyer.
Mind if I take this, ma'am?
Sure, go ahead.
Cool. Then I sit back down.
At this point, I've already finished eating my food. Oh, so what's that flyer you got there?
Looks like some fancy old gentleman needs some problem solving. And like I said, right now we don't have much. I don't have much to pay you. Just barely cover my own expenses. The old machine broke down, so I need someone like you with your expertise to fix it. But we still need some investment to get things running. So to start, still got some backlog to cover us. But this might be a good place to get some good old cash flow, you know?
Oh, wow. Looks like everything's coming up Philip today. We should go see this guy. Especially since that flyer says we'll be paid in advance.
You need any more bagels, or are we good to go?
Well, I wouldn't mind coming back later on, but this takes care of the first square meal of the day, so I'm good to go.
Sorry, your mic quality was kind of bad. I couldn't tell what you were saying. Michael.
I think that's my internet quality is just crap right now. Sorry. I said, I'm ready to go right now if you are.
Sure. Also, out of character, I don't know if you want us to engage Elaine right now, or if it's just like... we're just passing by each other so far.
Did I see the handout at all? The what's it called? While I was
Yeah,
paying here.
Elaine, you've noticed the handout when you went up to get your order before.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have said something like that.
No, so Elaine's been just, taking some notes in a notepad while reading Moby Dick, but she's distracted. She hasn't had any breakthroughs, writing anything that's actually gonna, set her like a publisher at ease. And she has just a handout, a copy of it on the side, just like looking back and forth to it. Her curious piqued more so than ever. Does she overhear these two talking about going?
Yes.
Like,
Philip in particular is kind of loud.
And smelly.
Elaine hesitates for a bit, then like closes her book, stands up, and approaches Alex and Philip. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear you were taking up the old Sir Knott's request.
Yeah, so you got a copy there in your hand as well. You plan to go?
Well, I curiosities of the world, and this definitely seems like a curiosity. Perhaps we could work together. And she like looks at Philip again, says, I'm Elaine, and you two are?
I'm Philip. Philip Kraftlove. I hold out my hand to shake hers.
Ah, mhm. I like very like hesitantly put my hand towards his. I'm assuming your hand's a little dirty.
I am a hobo.
Yeah, and very reluctantly, but I do shake your hand.
My name's Alex. This is Phil. And I guess 3 heads are better than 1. Before we go, I guess we could start to work together. I have a car back home that we could take to this place and meet up with this Mr. Steven Knott. And I look over Philip, and you could probably fit into some of my brother's clothes, so we could replace those with those as well. And maybe a hot bath.
Oh, that actually sounds very good. It's good to make a good first impression on these sort of encounters. Do I know of Mr. Stephen Knott at all?
Make a history check. Just a regular one.
History.
Nope.
Well,
all you know is the address scrawled on the flyer. Oh, by the way, since you just used your history skill, remember to click on the skill and mark it for possible increase at the end of the session.
Is that for if you only succeed, or is that every time? You just mark it.
Double check it right now because I think it was just using it at all.
Yeah, I also vaguely remember something about that.
Oh, successful. Never mind.
Heap.
Right.
Has Elaine visited a bar that I supply for? Do you think I would, like, do I vaguely recognize her at all, or does she look like not the type to visit bars?
I do not look like the type. I look very prim and proper.
Okay, so I'll just, maybe I won't mention the fact that my house is over a sort of speakeasy. My apartment. But it does have plumbing and hot water, so let's go.
That's pretty luxurious. All right.
Yeah, right?
You all file out of the coffee shop and follow Alex, I guess, to what, your car, or you just walk into your place?
Well, my car is still like outside my place or like next to my place, which is like an apartment above a bar, a speakeasy, Castlemark Bar. Yeah, just don't mind the business downstairs. They can get a little ruckus, a little loud, but
Oh, what kind of ruckus?
Just consider it a little club for.
I've read about things like those, where all the young people meet up to hang out, so to say.
Yeah, something like that. You can sit down and like use the coffee machine or something like that if you want. Phil, bathroom is that way. I'll grab you some of my brother's clothes.
And off I go to take a shower.
Alright, as you guys settle in at Alex's place, it's getting to be nighttime. You do have Mr. Knott's address on the flyer, but pretty soon uh, it's possible some unsavory types could be out and about, and maybe it is preferable to wait till tomorrow.
Well, I have a spare bedroom. Lane, since you're the other lady here, you could probably take it. Phil, do you mind taking the couch?
Oh, a couch. Wow. I haven't slept on one of those in years. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you want,
What were you sleeping on when you were working for Tony and his boys?
Well, they put out some dry cardboard boxes and some newspapers if it was cold out for me to use as a blanket. But aside from that, nothing else really. Just what I can find on the streets.
Taking care of his employees.
Mm-hmm.
right, we also have a room with the machinery I was talking about if you want to start taking a look at that. But if everyone's in agreement, we can go to sleep here and then start going to that address tomorrow.
Oh, delightful. I never had a sleepover before.
Yep, just don't mind if it gets a little loud under the floor, right? They tend to go on pretty late.
I see.
Alright, as night approaches, the establishment downstairs does get a little more active. But everyone makes it through the night with a pretty restful sleep, quick, simple breakfast, and you guys are now standing outside Alex's place.
Alright. Let's go get some more money.
Alright. Referring quickly to the flyer for Mr. Knott's address, you wind your way through a couple streets, and then you come across an apartment building. Looks like his place is on the 3rd floor, so you head on up and are standing outside his door.
Appears we've arrived.
Knock, knock.
Coming to the door, and a middle-aged man in a very nice bathrobe opens the door. And you three are?
Saw this flyer that you got. Here to answer it.
Oh, finally, someone has finally decided to answer my request. Please, come in. And he leads you into a pretty spacious apartment. For considering the place. There's a very nice sitting room and some plush furniture. Mr. Knott does look a little strangely at Philip, since even though he's washed, he still has that aura of being a bum about him.
Years of training.
But you three sit down, and he sits across from you. Oh, by the way, would you three like any refreshments or anything like that, or should we get straight down to business?
Oh, refreshments sound wonderful. Thank you very much.
Agreed. Perhaps we could discuss this venture over tea.
All right, tea it is. Maria. And the maid comes by and bows to him. Please bring us a pot of nice black tea, if you please. She nods and comes back pretty quickly with a pot of black tea, and you guys are all served. Now, I trust you have reviewed the flyer that I set out.
Got some troubles in one of your properties, don't you?
That's right. So, the Corbett House is one of the properties that I own. And a while back, there was a terrible, terrible accident. And the tenants just simply vanished. I don't know if they ran from the city or if something worse happened, but no one ever found them. And the police tried for a while. After that, I found a couple of tenants. They all left, complaining it was haunted or something similarly completely outrageous. There's no way any of my managed properties are haunted by some ghost. Not that I believe in something anyway, but I did see something a little worrying. I was visiting the property just a week ago, and I saw that there were some lights on in one of the upper windows and a couple of noises coming from it. So I reported it to the police, but they just told me that it was probably a couple of vagrants. He gives an involuntary glance at Philip at this point. um, Perhaps squatting in the property, and that it was not important enough for them to properly investigate because they were busy waging the war against alcohol. So I decided I would turn to private hands to help me out. Are you interested?
Well, very much so. In my respect, I look over to the other two. It seems that there could definitely be a mystery about this place you speak of.
Two things first. What is this tragic accident, and do you have any more information about that? And second, what's our down payment?
Well, first, I would suggest you need to check the newspapers because, frankly, I don't remember it too well. Uh, but the down payment is $25 up front.
How much is that today?
A
1920.
while. For reference, I think your characters all start with $2 standard. Although,
Well, I don't know about all our characters starting
yeah.
with $2.
yeah, Philip, you're broke. You have nothing.
Oh yeah, I do have $2.
About $325 now.
Not bad. Not
That's
bad at
pretty good.
all. Well,
If it's
I-
enough to buy setting up that new distillery, then
I'm sorry, what? Did you say
oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that out loud.
that?
All right, sir. In that case, guess we'll get started.
Excellent. By the way, what are your names?
Lane Devar, putting my hand forward.
I've heard of you. You're an up-and-coming author, are you not? He shakes your hand.
Trying my best. Short stories only so far.
I can't say that I've actually read any of your material, but I know that my mistress does enjoy it quite a lot.
Ah, and I turned to look. Did the person that came to give us our tea look like a maid or like a mistress?
Just a maid. Just a
Okay.
maid.
Okay. I see. Well, that is good to hear. I haven't made anything that garners the attention of most, so it's always nice to hear someone's read my work.
Not bad. Name's Alex. Just a little engineer making my business and work.
Pleasure to meet you.
I hold out my hands and I say to Mr. Knott, the name's Philip Craftlove. I'm also an engineer, although unlike my friend, I'm a bit down on my luck at the moment. But your generosity might be just what I need to get back on my feet, sir. Thank you.
Charmed, and he doesn't shake your hand.
I don't notice.
Alright. Well, you already know my name. Please remember to, or I would prefer to be kept up to date on your progress from time to time, just so I know how the investigation is going along. As for the promised down payment, he gets up and goes into a back room and comes back with 25 in cash, and he puts it down on the table, as well as a piece of paper with the address to the Corbett house and the keys.
Pick him up.
All right, so Alex yoinks all of it.
All right. Well, let's get started on that research. Holly?
Let's do it. Oh wait, did he ever tell us like what was the incident that happened when Alex asked?
Nah, he told
No.
us to
Well-
look it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we gotta go find some newspapers.
Perhaps we
I-
can hit up the library and see, or the town hall, and see what old records are there about the establishment.
Sure. Okay, so let's make our way out, and guess as we're going down, it's like, do you guys want to split up this money, or I can keep it in the drawer in my car with the little lock?
Well, Tony's thugs might still be mad at me, so perhaps it's best if we do keep it in a secure location for now.
Of course, we haven't earned it yet either, so it's best if you keep it somewhere safe. Just in case things don't go well with our investigation.
Keep it in the lockbox of my car, which I've souped up a little, because, not super savory business, but
All right, so Elaine, you've already suggested the library or town hall, but you also heard that Mr. Knott mentioned that it was in the newspapers when it happened. So you might also want to check out the Boston Globe.
Well, do we want to look into perhaps the Globe before and see what any news is on about the place?
Yes, perhaps a journalist did some research of their own when they wrote the story.
Alex,
you're the expert.
best to do some research, and I hop into Alex's car.
Vroom
Hi.
vroom.
You'll pile in, vroom vroom, Mario Kart, and speed on over to the Boston Globe. And you've arrived at the front doors. Start walking in, and you hear, first thing you guys notice is the noise of the printing press and just the general energy about the place of a newspaper trying to make a quick buck off some sensational story. A desk clerk looks at you three as you enter. Yes, how may I help you?
Hi, we were wish to inquire a bit on. Wait, do I know if they have old issues here?
Do you? You figured that any newspaper would keep some sort of archive, because if you think about it, any fucking newspaper any newspaper now keeps archives, and there are archives even from before.
Wanted to see if we could peruse your archives for an older article we thought might be in there.
The desk clerk rolls her eyes at you, chewing her gum. And who are you?
Oh, me and my compatriots are looking into a bit of investigation.
Let me ring up Artie, and she takes a moment to call up Artie on the internal telephone. Hey, Artie, there's a couple of strange characters out here looking for some old issues of the Globe. What are they? Two girls, and it looks like they picked up a bum off the street.
Do you not notice that this is the upcoming new author Elaine Devar?
Well, that, she just.
I'm not really into literature, you know what I'm saying?
But you work at a newspaper.
They're two different things. And besides, I'm just a clerk here. Anyway, Artie says he'll see you for a little bit. He's kind of interested in what a bum's doing here. So go on, walk past the desk, go up to the second floor, and it will be the third door on your right.
Very gracious of you, and I didn't catch your name, sorry?
Betty.
Eddie?
Betty.
Betty, okay. I just like nod and then start making my way in the direction.
Alright, so it looks like Elaine's going up the stairs first,
Alright.
and you reach the door of what appears to be there's a like a brass nameplate on the door that says Artie Willman, and beneath it says editor as his title.
I knock on the door.
Come in.
Hello there. You must be Mr. Artie Willman. I'm the bum off the street that your man Eddie referred to.
Mm.
Don't mind him. He's my assistant, but consider it a little bit of a shelter case, as you would.
I see. Artie is a pretty pudgy older dude. He's definitely losing his hair. But his desk is pretty cluttered, and his room is surprisingly small for someone who has the title of editor.
Sir Editor, Artie, can we take it? Bye. We were interested in looking up a bit of information on the Corbett House and peruse your archives to see if there's been any articles about it.
The Corbett House, eh? Well, I'll tell you, in my 30 years of working for the Boston Globe, I've never had anyone walk into my office and just demand to see an old issue just like that.
Oh, well, we weren't demanding, we were just asking if it would be possible.
Are you impressed that we did demand, though?
You're the one that told us to come up.
I only told you to come up because I wanted to see what this bum had to say.
Well, this bum wants to read some newspapers. Now, if he can't even do that at the newspaper company, what's this world coming to?
Did you even learn to read, son?
I'll have you know I'm college educated, Boston University graduate.
Then how come you're sleeping on the street? And how come you managed to con these pretty ladies into being your companions?
There's no con about it, sir. I happen to be a very skilled engineer.
You're a
But,
degree too, right?
Hmm?
Nothing.
But even so, I've just been down on my luck lately. Had some run-ins with that Northeastern University headmaster, and he's had it out
Wow.
for me.
Okay. All right, Philip, give me a charm skill check.
Wait.
As you're busy regaling Artie with your life's story of struggle and suffering, he simply looks at you and then rubs his eyes. Well, I've definitely read gas station pulp novels better than that. So
Can I jump in and just like, William, sir, Artie, if I can call you that. Hi, I am Elaine Devar. I put my hand out.
Elaine Devar.
Perhaps you've
Shit.
heard of the family name at least. I am who I say I am for sure. Philip has had some rough times, but the other ones of us, we are not being conned by him by any
I know your dad, or I know of your dad at least.
Yes, he gets his.
Say, didn't your mother die and then he went crazy?
He's.
And then he went crazy and drove the sons out of the house.
knows everything about my backstory. He's had his bit of paranoia and things, but he's still maintaining himself to a degree. I'm just here to say that we're looking into a case. We've been requested by Sir Stephen Knott to look into his property of the Corbett House, and likely there might even be a story here for you at the Globe.
Story.
Something happened tragically months ago, and hopefully, I'm assuming you've covered the case, but there might be more to it that we could reopen and look into for you now.
How are you planning to help us write the story, man, if you're doing all the investigation?
Well, our side of things is simply the investigation. We have a deal with Mr. Knott, and the info we could provide to you, and you could create the story as you like.
Yo, give me a fat persuasion skill check.
Let's get it.
Ooh.
Mm,
Let me see. Ooh.
I'm persuasive.
All right.
Also pretty.
Anyway. Artie gives you a look up and down, and he rubs his chin for a little bit. Story? Pretty lady? All right. Let's see. I'll escort you down to the basement where we keep a bit of a morgue, if you will. So he gets up from his desk and leads you guys downstairs to the morgue where they keep a ton of old newspaper clippings and old issues.
And Elaine walks in there and just sees all the pieces of writing in the history. She just says, "Nowadays, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing." And she's looking around be wild by all the information in front of her. Sorry, Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Everything. Very good.
I look at Elaine and I say to her, I agree. Look at all these perfectly good blankets lying around, not being used by anyone. What a waste.
She just stares at you, blinks audibly. Yes. So, Sir Editor, are we allowed to peruse all this, or is there a section that is for more recent clippings?
Just look through all of it. Roof would know a little more when we get him. So Artie goes back up the stairs, and down comes a young man wearing a pair of glasses, and he nods at all three of you. Greetings. My name is Roof. I'm the records keeper here at the Boston Globe. So what are you looking for?
Well, we were looking into the Corbett House. We believe you might have had an article written about it a few months ago.
That was in 1918, wasn't it? Let me look around. So he searches through some old issues for a bit and ends up finding a clipping that he hands over to you guys.
I take it and read it.
Yep.
I can read out loud?
Yeah.
Yes, a feature story. It seems that this thing was never quite published. It states that in 1880, a family of French immigrants moved into the house, but left after a series of violent accidents, left the parents dead and 3 children crippled. Hey, I look over at Elaine and say, doesn't this sound kind of like what Artie was saying your dad did? Anyways, it also states that in 1909, another family moved in and immediately fell prey to illnesses. But it doesn't say which one, what illnesses. 1914, a brother of a family killed himself with a kitchen knife, and his heartbroken family moved out. And in 1918, a third family rented the house, and they left immediately for unspecified reasons. Wow, this place really is haunted.
Definitely a
that's
series
what
of
I heard.
tragedies have followed this residence.
Should we try to locate one of these families and ask them about it? Looks like this most recent one has a name, and they might still be alive, or we could go directly to the residence.
Yes.
Any of these articles like? It does say who it was written by, or
No, these are all like basically drafts that
oh,
never
okay,
got
like
actually
brainstormed
published.
ideas someone
Yeah,
could have written about. Okay.
yeah.
Uh, yes, of course we can look into the Macarios.
Yes. The Macarios.
The Macarios. Weren't they the most recent family?
Oh, that's what it says. They lived there in 1918. I guess if we went to Town Hall, we might be able to find some records about where they live now.
I don't know if we'd have access to those.
Well,
Well, certain things are public access. We might be able to at least find a lead. Or, of course, we could always maybe check in again with Mr. Knott. He might have, since they did live in his residence.
it's true.
Are there any other articles you know about this family, the Macarios?
Ruth shakes his head. Nope. That's the only one I think I know of. The journalist who was drafting this up decided to move out of town. Never gave the reason why, though.
We could just head straight to the house.
Yes. Thank you very much. Is Artie still here?
No, Artie went back up to
Okay.
his office.
Thank you very much, Roof. We'll copy this down. I make a copy of the note, and says maybe look into it a bit more. If you hear anything else about the Corbett house, please put a pin in it for us.
I'll keep it around. Okay, if I find something.
Right. Turn to Philip and Alex. So, how do you want to proceed from here?
I guess we could try and speak to Mr. Knott again to see if he has anything on the Macarios, and if not, then we could go and check at City Hall. They seem to be our best lead right now.
It is daytime, right?
Yeah, it's still daytime. It's just before noon.
Should also, at some point before it gets too dark, just check out the place in question. Maybe we could return if this is something malicious that is happening. Perhaps we can plan on staying the night and seeing what occurs. But perhaps seeing it during the day would also help. Just make plans for that.
That is true.
I could also I could also ask the entertainment parlor under my apartment and see if they've had any rumors about this place as well.
What if we circle around then? We head to the Corbett's house, find if there's any clues there, and then we can bring all those clues when we are questioning people and asking Mr. Knott about anything they might know.
Sure.
That sounds like a plan.
All right, let's head to the house.
All right, you guys are going to the house. So, for a quick drive in Alex's car and the address in question, you guys reach the neighborhood where the house is. So it looks like it used to be a residential spot where there were some old houses and everything, but new buildings and offices have largely replaced them. You do see a particular very overgrown or almost decrepit old house that might look like it's the Corbett's place in question. There's a couple people walking the streets, and there is a guy selling some cigars and newspapers almost in front of the house.
Head up to the guy.
Hey, you trying to buy a newspaper? What about a cigar?
I'll take a cigar if you can answer some questions about that house over there.
All right, that will be 20 cents.
Okay. How long you been selling out here, man?
Now that you're asking him questions, I'm gonna ask for a credit rating check.
Uh,
Alright. He looks over at you, and you don't seem quite what he's targeting wealth wise, but since you already bought a cigar, he shrugs. Well, I've been selling here for maybe 8 years now in this neighborhood. I grew up here though.
yeah. So I heard there's a few families that come in and out of this house.
But the Corbin house,
Yep.
I only know of one family, the Macarios. They used to live here a couple of years ago.
You know what happened to them?
A couple people say that I think the dad had some sort of accident and he went crazy. He lost his marbles or something. I think a lot of people said that he was talking about some sort of ghost or something, and like eyes on fire and everything, and it was walking around the house at night. If I if I saw something like that in my house, I'd be crazy too, you know?
Something on fire, walking around their house. Mm. You know where they went after they left, or?
Well, the dad was crazy for a while, and then just a month ago, Mrs. Macario went crazy too. I don't know what happened to her, but the parents got put into a sanitarium a couple miles out from Boston. I think it was Roxbury Sanitarium or something. And then the kids got sent down to Baltimore with some relatives.
Right. Thanks for the info.
Hey, you gonna buy another cigar? Newspaper? Huh?
I'll
Not.
try one out, and I go over and give him 20 cents. My father always sees. I never tried one myself.
Oh boy.
All right, you're in for a wild ride, then, young lady.
Oh, thank you. And
You
that's it.
smoked a cigar, and it is. If you were a cigar connoisseur, you would know that it is one of the worst cigars ever sold in the city.
Yeah, I just tuck it in a pocket. I'm like gonna throw it to the bartender tonight.
Oh, that burns a little, but uh, and she's like trying to convince herself, oh yeah, this is cool and everything. Was like, damn, this fucking sucks.
All right. Well, you've talked to Dooley, but you're standing not too far from the Corbett house.
I walk up to the front door and check the handle to see if it's unlocked.
Okay. You open the gate, which is unlocked, but the door itself is locked.
Philip, you might need this. I toss the key.
I grab the key, put it in, unlock the door.
All right. So you enter the house, and the inside is almost pitch black. Um, the hallway is not lit by any of the old candles that are sitting on a couple of pedestal or what do you call those? It's like these small tables, I guess. Um, anyway, do you actually step inside, or are you just looking through from the front door?
I step inside.
You step inside.
As we are stepping inside, have I like heard of any like legends or urban things about ghosts with like red fiery eyes?
History check.
History or occult?
Is there an occult one? I have
Yeah.
like the list of. Not occult.
Okay, history. 5.
Yeah, because you're sort of looking for like folk tales and legends and stuff. Occult, as I read the skill description, is like you're explicitly looking at spooky shit, like grimoires and stuff.
Okay.
All right, I need to move your tokens to the house.
I like how Elaine has just been drinking that same cup of coffee the past day.
She's got a reusable cup, you know, ahead of the game. By the way, how much do we need to keep track of like money and things like this in the game?
I mean, all you gotta do is like update the money, but it's not super important.
Okay.
It's not like D&D where you have to make change for all the different coin denominations and stuff. It's just in dollars here.
Right.
Elaine is sort of idling outside the building, but Philip has already stepped inside.
I look inside this first
Hold
room.
on. I put you in the wrong spot.
Oh, I'm supposed to be on the other side or something?
No. Alright, you're on the ground floor right now. It is still pretty freaking dark in here.
Should
Do
we wait
I
for Ash first? CFK.
Yeah, Ash is like not at his desk.
Oh, he's back.
Alright. Yeah, so Elaine and Alex, you're standing just outside the front door. Philip has opened it and nonchalantly walked in. It's pretty dark. You don't really have any lighting, though you do see some candles and stuff.
No light switch? They should have powered by now, right? Or is this like an old house?
It's an old house.
Do
So
I
I
have
go over and grab one of the candles.
I have a
and
lighter on me?
Yeah. Ask for a lighter.
Probably do. You're the one that lit my cigar.
Silas. Click, click.
All right. I hand the lit candle to them, and then I get one for myself.
Alright, so everyone's carrying a candle and a candle holder right now.
Okay. And I'm going to walk over and look inside this room.
Alright, so you come in here, you see that looks like a living room. There's a small fireplace in one corner, and a couple of windows that have the curtains drawn shut across them. Some armchairs and a coffee table complete the room. Looks like most of the furnishings have been abandoned and have kind of deteriorated really quickly.
Open up the curtains.
Alright, you open up the curtains and you see outside. You notice that the windows are nailed shut from the inside.
Huh. Huh.
Interesting.
Do they look recent or kind of old?
What'd you say?
Do the nail like being nailed shut? Do they look recent or kind of old?
They're not rusted over or anything like that. So they look pretty new.
Maybe from the last tenants then.
I don't know how this works, but can I make a listen check to see if I hear noise from anywhere else in the house? See if there's anything else moving besides us?
Let me look at your.
Is listen a skill?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is. I keep wanting to just ask to make a perception check or something like that, but
Oh, I guess listen is a skill. That's pretty interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I put my stuff in it too.
I mean, I'm just gonna say right now that you listen, and there isn't anything going on right now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go into the room across the hall.
Well, this room is full of a bunch of boxes and junk. You see some old bicycles, some water tanks. At the right end of the room, you see a cupboard.
I see a what?
You see a cupboard, and it's nailed shut with a bunch of boards over it.
I call everyone over. Hey, looks like there's something locked in here. Well, I say locked, more like nailed shut. I wonder what's inside. If only I had some sort of investigation ability to better discern its contents. What would come close?
Is it,
Appraisal?
I guess so. I would like to make an appraisal check to see if I can figure out how strong these nails and boards are, and if I can just pry them off my hands.
What the hell? Appraisal check?
You can appraise. I think that's more like
That's like
the worth
looking
of
at
something.
That's like looking at that's like you're on Antiques Roadshow and you're trying to figure out how much a phase is worth.
Fine, I'll just try and rip it off manually then. I'm gonna try and pull the boards off, so I guess that would just be like a strength thing.
I mean, you can just yank it off. So, out of character, the book is sort of like try to keep checks to use for like things with consequences and stuff. So
Okay.
I'm not just gonna demand strength checks for mundane shit like
okay, so we'll just wait
ripping
for
some
you to
old
ask us
boards
for
off.
checks, and
Yeah.
just like
Got it.
narrate what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right. So it takes you a bit of time, but you manage to yank the boards off, and as soon as you do, you see 3 bound books inside.
Bound books, you say?
Yeah.
I grab
They're all hardcover.
all of. I
You
grab.
grab all of them.
Yep.
And you open them up, and they all say diary.
I pass one to each of my companions, and I start reading through the one I have.
All right. So the one you have says that it belonged to a W. Corbett, and this guy used to live in the house. The address of the Corbett house is written on the like the first page, and the other two, Elaine and Alex, discover that it's pretty much the same. So it looks like the 3 volumes are all diaries of his life. As you're reading them, are you gonna read all of them now?
Skim through and see if I can find like later in the life. Like, I want to see
Anything
what
that
happened to
would
him.
anything that would line up with the dates in the newspapers that we saw as well. I'm going to keep my eye out for anything that would be at the same time as the stuff in the article.
All right. You skim through it, and they're all in English, but there's like a couple of weird wording choices that he makes, and as you get a glimpse of the subject matter, you realize that he's describing some sort of like arcane ritual or a variety of rituals that he's carried out over his years. But you don't really get a glimpse of anything in detail. And you feel that it would take quite a while to absorb all of the knowledge that's in these.
Let's take this back and continue looking through while we still have daylight.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Poke through the boxes really quick.
The boxes? Just
Nothing of interest, just
a bunch of junk.
I kick
Alright.
down the wall then and move into the next room.
What?
No, I go through the other door.
Just to make sure. So this room here in the bottom is like a living area.
Is this room like? Does it not have a door?
It does. I just forgot to. I drew these like in the morning when I was hungover.
Ah, nice.
Okay, sure. I was just like,
Oh, it leads from that.
was it like a secret door or some shit, you know? Secret room. But sure.
It's another
Let's keep on
speakeasy.
wandering.
So Philip, you walk in
I
here.
was an outlaw.
Alright, you're walking there, and looks like it's another storage room. Instead of bicycles and other boxes and shit, it's just got old furniture. Some of it is broken up. Might have been used as fuel in a wood stove.
I'm gonna inspect the furniture just to see like if it was intentionally broken up or did it look like something crashed into it and destroyed it. Was accidental or was this intentional? That kind of thing.
Check this room out too.
You give it a look over and trying to look through your skill list to see if there's anything relevant.
I mean, basically, I'm just wondering, like, oh, was this room used for an arcane ritual? But trying to also map out the house.
I don't think I have any skills that would be used for this.
Yeah, I don't think it would really fall under any of these. But it just seems like old furniture. There's no like stains or anything. You inspect a couple bits of like cloth and cushions, and it looks like it was actually just worn out after being used.
Okay, I leave this room and then go back to the rest of the group.
All right, Elaine and Alex have entered the dining room. So as soon as Philip comes in, it looks like he just stands on top of the table. But yeah, it is a long table. There is still some candle holders on it, and a bunch of chairs are around it. A couple of light fixtures in the walls, and again, there are 2 windows over on this wall.
Also boarded over?
We'll just call it the south wall, so we have a reference.
So they're also boarded over, right?
Yeah, you pull the curtains aside and they're boarded over and nailed shut from the inside.
I inspect to see how much dust is on the table. How long has it been since it was last used?
You run a finger over it, and there's a pretty good layer of dust. But you remember that the cigar bro outside said that the wife went crazy a month ago.
Well, it appears there haven't been any squatters, perhaps, since then.
Wait, so did they move out and then the wife went crazy after they moved out, or was it like they were still living here up until like a month ago?
They were still living here with the crazy dad until the wife went crazy.
Wasn't it back in 1918?
I guess it's 1918 now.
Yes.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Well, okay then.
Wait, it said the Macarios left almost immediately under mysterious circumstances. So this was a month ago or something?
Sounds like the story's
Well,
this on who we talked to.
That was written at the time.
I'm just like confused because like the mother and the father was like the Macarios, right?
Yeah.
And so when they were still living there back in like 1918 or whenever, the father went crazy and then he left for the sanatorium, and then later on the mother also went crazy, and then like everyone moved out and the kids went to Baltimore and both the mother and the father at the sanatorium or something, right?
So it says, so in the clipping it says 1918, the Macarios rented the house, and then Cigar Bro says that a year after moving in, the dad went crazy. So this is 1919 that the dad went crazy. And then before that, he also said that 1918 was a couple of years ago. So the dad was crazy for several years before they left.
Okay, I just thought I like, cause like I wasn't sure like a year was like, oh, they left immediately. I thought it was like, you know,
No.
like a month.
Like some of the story bits are not super organized, but
Yeah.
there was
Okay.
1918, they moved in. 1919, the dad's crazy. Blah, 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 blah. 1920s, now the mom went crazy a month ago and has left.
Cool.
Cool. They keep moving through, and is this just a room with a staircase in?
Uh,
Or is that on the hallway?
Yeah, so the staircase opens in the hallway.
Okay.
But you are in a kitchen, so there's a stove, an ice box, an oven, larder, and everything. There are a couple of shelves that still have some like canned soups and meats and stuff.
Ugh.
Well, they can, so they're probably still preserved.
And
Yeah.
you see a couple bottles of what looks to be homemade wine. There's also a bundle of food that was eaten up by rats over here.
Nasty. Ooh, guess if the wine was homemade, they're probably not worth that much.
I go to one of the wine bottles and uncork it and smell it just to see if it is in fact wine and not something else.
You pop it open, and it's wine.
Okay.
It looks to be red wine.
Philip, are you going to be drinking right now?
I wasn't planning on it, but in haunted houses, you can never be too sure if it's really wine or blood.
Oh, unsettling. I just walk out when he mentions it could have been blood. Alright, and then we haven't seen what's inside this room.
I put the cork back in the bottle and then join the rest of the group.
All right, Lane, you go in here and you see it's a room full of outerwear. So you see a bunch of overcoats, has umbrellas and stuff. There is a couple of bags of coal in one of the corners for like a fireplace or a stove or whatever. And you see the side door is secured with 3 bolts and 2 locks.
Philip,
Yes?
does this look normally something you would engineer for just a door in your home?
Oh, this is way too excessive. This is something that I would see in Tony's home, not in your home or Alex's home. I go and I inspect the locks to see, are they, homemade? Are they, some kind of special lock? And can I actually, figure out a way to pick them and open up this door?
There's a locksmith skill.
So yeah, give me that nice locksmith skill, bro.
This is going to be an auto fail.
Oh.
Come on.
So,
Oh, it's
so this was
loading.
so this was like full of like clothing or something.
Yeah, so it looks like a side door where people who were like working in the yard or whatever could come in without getting their muddy boots and shit.
Oh, so it's a mudroom.
main hallway.
Mudroom.
It's a mud.
Nice.
Wait, you know what a mudroom is? I didn't know what it is until I read this scenario.
I may have spent some time watching home makeover videos when I'm bored.
Nice.
I mean, I used to watch Extreme Home Makeover or whatever that shit was when I was younger, but I don't think I remember hearing about a mudroom.
Lowe's has a YouTube channel that does like weekend home makeovers, and one of them was like a mudroom focused thing that also worked as a laundry room. So the more you know.
Damn. Okay. All right. Nice failure, bro. Um,
Can I try?
you take a look at the locks and you decide to stick your pinky finger into the keyhole, but it doesn't fit, so you can't open them. As to your other question, they are not homemade. They look like they were just installed by some locksmith.
Oh, I seem to have sold my lockpicking tools for some food years ago, so I don't actually think I can open this up. Perhaps one of you could have better luck than I did.
Can I give it?
Yeah, Alex
Oh,
steps
Lane?
forward, and I say, I don't have much experience with breaking into locks. Is this something of your persuasion, Miss Alex?
Not a lot, but I can give it a go. Sad life.
Sad life.
You pull out some bobby pins that you had because you saw one of the customers in the establishment below you brag about his skill with a bobby pin, and you sort of just jam it in and wiggle it around, but nothing happens, and the bobby pin breaks. Good thing you have more.
Am I gonna try again?
Well, perhaps we can ask Mr. Knott of why this store is so heavily bolted. Since he is
Yeah.
And
in
if you
charge
can
of the
give us a
state.
key.
Yes.
So does this lead out to the yard or something, like based on
Yeah,
what we
it
saw on
just
the
leads
outside?
out to the yard.
Okay.
Okay, I go to the end of the hallway, and I open up what appears to be the basement door.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to walk down the stairs.
Follow him with the candle.
As you head down to the basement, you open it, or you notice that it also has a lock and 3 deadbolts.
Shit.
And it's meant to be opened from the upstairs side only. So it's meant to lock whatever's downstairs in downstairs.
Yeah, that's foreshadowing.
I put my ear up to the door to see if I can hear anything on the other side.
You don't hear anything coming from downstairs, but at this moment you hear a couple of thumping sounds from upstairs.
Oh.
Wait, you guys, I think we're not alone, and I point upstairs.
That's perhaps. We did see the mess in the other room.
Sounds like boots, though. Shall we head up?
1 second, and I go over to the furniture room and grab like a wooden chair leg.
Do you just rip a chair leg off?
Well, the furniture is broken to begin with, so I guess it wouldn't be too hard to find a wooden chair leg, right?
Do I happen to have a handgun in my?
What?
Do I have a gun?
Do I?
Hey, it's America, you never know.
Give me a hard luck check.
Oh shit.
All right. When you left the door this morning, you remembered that you grabbed the big overcoat that you keep with a snub-nosed revolver in, for
just in case.
Just in case you're walking around at night. But yeah, you got a gun.
Well, between the chair leg and the gun, who can stop us?
Well, let's see who it is first.
I see them pull out weapons. I'm like,
I didn't pull it out. It's in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Just in your pocket. You don't know if she got it.
Yeah,
she
don't know.
Let me look up some shit real quick. Okay, so Philip, you're carrying a small club right now, so I think there's this weapons section. You can just list chair leg, and it does 1d6.
Oh, I didn't add my handgun to it. Balls.
Yeah, so you have a combat tab, and then you can just put down a new entry in the weapons list.
How much is a handgun?
A handgun does 1d10.
I'm sorry, I disconnected. I missed everything you said.
So armed with a chair leg, you're gonna do 1d6 plus your melee damage bonus, which I will look up right now.
Okay.
Unless it already tells me somewhere on your sheet. You will have a -1 damage bonus with your wooden chair leg. So 1d6 -1.
Good to know.
Guess we go
Here's,
upstairs.
Yeah, if you just add it to your weapons list.
Oh, you're adding it? Thank you.
What? Oh, I guess I'll add it.
Alright. So did the noise come from like upstairs, or like the floor that we were on earlier?
I don't think we were only on the stairs. We weren't in the
Like-
basement.
Right,
We
right.
didn't even get on the stairs technically because the door was locked.
Oh, okay. That there.
Yeah, you guys didn't even bother opening the door to downstairs yet. So, are you going upstairs right now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm in the back.
Alright. You just scroll to the description of the upstairs shit. Alright, yeah. Move up to just about where Philip is, because that's the upstairs map. Alright, you guys come upstairs. The thumping stops as soon as you come upstairs.
Oh, perhaps we scared the rats away.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
No response. You see, it's about as dark up here as it was downstairs.
I'm holding a candle.
I inch forward and I check this room immediately off the stairwell first.
Alright, check that room. This room is a bathroom. So there's a sink, a bathtub, and a water closet with like a tank overhead. So grab this shit.
Is it dusty?
It is dusty. There is no toilet.
Huh.
I walk over to the faucets, turn it on.
Checking for dirty water.
You try to turn the faucet off, but it's sort of like rusted in place, and it's just dripping into the sink. There's all the faucet in the bathtub also seems to be dripping, and you see that the bathtub itself, like the drain, is clogged, and there's like a murky pool of water that has accumulated and is slightly overflowing to the side.
I poke at where the drain should be with my club just to see what's clogging it.
Kind of soft.
Kind of soft. Well, I give it a little more of a push to unclog it then.
Doesn't seem to really have an effect on unclogging it. It must be pretty jammed up in the pipe.
Well, I'm not a plumber, so I leave the room.
Okay. As you
And-
leave, you notice that there's still a bunch of towels and other sort of bathroom essentials, enough for a family of 4.
Are the windows also blocked up upstairs?
So
Okay.
you're just gonna pull the curtains aside? Okay. Alright. Nice daylight floods in to illustrate that, once again, these windows are nailed shut from the inside.
Hmm.
But light is always good.
Little light, yeah, even if it's blocked off. I guess Mr. Knott saw the light flickering through the boards. Although if we had to open all the curtains, I wonder how he noticed the light. We should-
Well, we'll have to ask him when we see him again.
Peruse these other rooms quick.
Yes. What's in this place?
You
Bed.
see a bed. There's actually no mattress, but the pillow is still on it. And you see a couple of bed springs that are still in the frame, as well as a dresser.
Does this look like the master bedroom or just like maybe a kid's bedroom?
It just looks like a really plain bedroom.
Poke through the dresser.
Yep. What's inside?
There's a couple of old ratty clothes, but nothing really stands out.
I go and I look at the pillow. It's just a pillow, I'm guessing.
It's a grimy pillow.
All right. Next room.
Nope. You enter this room, and you see two small beds. These ones have the mattresses on. There's some dressers and a couple of toys and stuff. And towards one of the walls, there's a couple of pictures of like planes and cowboys on the wall that look like they were painted on.
I look at the toys and just poke them a little.
It looks like some toy cars and stuff. I don't know, kids stuff.
Shame they couldn't at least take their toys with them, considering they lost their parents and all.
Might have bad memories. Well, shit happens.
It's true.
Windows, windows.
We're into this one.
Alright, you come into this one. This one looks like pretty luxurious.
This must have been the master bedroom.
Yeah, so there's a double bed, there's a bookshelf over in the corner, and a window. You actually see a lot of like crosses and candles scattered across the room. Some crosses on the wall, candles placed on the dresser, on the bookshelf, and everything. And on a small table beside the bed, you see a rosary and a breviary, which I will look up what a breviary is.
As Elaine walks in and looks at all the very Christian symbology as if to ward off something.
It's a book.
Breviary is like selected bits from the Bible, what I'm guessing is.
Breviary picks that up and then says, "Finally, from so little sleeping and so much reading, his brain dried up and he went completely out of his mind." I look over to Alex. Don Quixote. It's fitting.
Nerd.
Do you have a bunch of these quotes?
Yes, I have a huge list of these ready to go.
When was Don Quixote?
I chose everything before 1920. Don Quixote was
15th century, right?
Quixote 1605.
Pretty old. Okay, yeah, it's pretty old.
I think it's like one of the earliest novels or something.
Yeah. I looked to see which parts of the Bible perhaps he was listening or reading the most.
It doesn't seem to be anything in particular. You notice that almost all of the pages have had dog ear marks on them, so it looks like this was well read almost completely.
Well, our previous residents, the Macchiones, or how do I say that?
The Macarios.
Macarios, were definitely scared of something. I've only seen the most desperate turn to religion so fervently in this day and age. What do you think, Alex? Was there an actual apparition here? Hello?
Sorry, what was it?
Oh, I was just saying if you thought there was an actual apparition or maybe some sort of demon at work.
Do the candles look like they were arranged in like a particular way? Also, I took a
No.
look under the bed.
They were like placed around the room, but you notice that there were only candles in this room and none in the other bedrooms.
Well, I don't really believe in ghosts, but I guess the world is pretty big, so who knows?
Philip, are you still chilling in that room?
I'm fighting Roll20 right now because my internet is really lagging hard today. So,
Sad life.
yes. If something important happens, then we can just pretend I'm in the
Yeah,
room.
we'll pretend you're with us.
Okay.
Maybe I'm the spirit who's haunting the house.
Definitely look like one with your pick. So we've mapped out the place at least. We have a few questions we can ask the good old Mr. Knott. Both the locked doors bring up interest.
What time of day is it?
You look out one of the windows, and it looks like the sun is past noon. You probably have a couple hours before sunset.
Well, we can head to Mr. Knott first and ask him about his previous tenants, and then, again, if you don't mind, we could go back to my place as our temporary headquarters. Oh, fuck, I deleted myself.
But sounds good to me. We can definitely come here back
Oh,
and
I deleted myself. Oops.
I think if you hit Control Z, it should pop back up, right?
Sure.
No.
I don't think we can control Z.
Okay, all right. I'll copy your backup from the start of the page.
Thanks.
You can also drag it from the character sheet.
Can
really?
I do that, or can...
Yes, you can, I think.
Well,
Oh,
it's not.
You have to have the token set, and then you can do that.
Yeah, sad life.
How do I set the token?
So if you open up the character sheet and click edit, then you select the token and then set it.
Anyways, let's go.
Gucci.
Yes, so
All right, let's do that while you guys talk for a little bit.
run into anything supernatural, Mr. Phillip?
Nothing. Although I do find it strange that Mr. Knott hasn't seemed to be cleaning up after his tenants or anything like that. You'd think if he's so concerned about this place, he'd get rid of all the clutter. That would certainly help figure out what the mystery might be.
It is true. There's always a possibility he might be hiding something from us.
Especially with all the locked doors. We haven't even looked in the basement yet.
Anyone who wants to will roll a listen check right now.
We're about to get jumped.
Oof.
Okay. So right now, Elaine, while Philip was talking about, or while you guys were discussing what you guys were gonna do next, Elaine, you hear a sort of like dripping sound.
Do I know where it's coming from? Like this floor, bottom floor?
It seems that some of the walls are kind of thin, so you know that it's on this floor.
Okay. I look up real quick just to make sure it's not in this room or
It's
anywhere.
not this room.
Alex, do you hear that?
Here's something. Seems like a dripping sound.
The bathroom faucets were broken.
Well,
They were dripping when we were last there.
I assume
Could just
the
be that.
water would have been turned off, though.
No, there was still a drip from the bathroom faucet.
Well, we have to get out of here anyway, so let's see if we find anything.
Okay.
Although it seems odd that we didn't bump into it when we were making our way through this floor.
Ow, I also fucked up and deleted my token.
I was wondering where you went.
I can grab my old other one, but it's not
I've
updated.
set your token.
Here.
So try again.
Shit. Okay, yes, let's perhaps check the other rooms. It should be somewhere here. I assume they turned the water off to the house once no one was living here.
Alright. You take a peek inside the kids' room. No dripping.
Perhaps the other bedroom.
Any dripping?
Any
Alex,
dripping?
Alex inches up to the door and is assailed by an unbelievably bad stench. It makes you throw up.
What does that smell?
You take a look inside and you see that there is a growing puddle of blood on the floor from that's dripping down and falling from the ceiling.
I turned my gaze up.
It doesn't look like there's anything on the ceiling, but blood is somehow coming through it. And give me a sanity 1d3.
How do I do that?
Just roll 1d3.
Okay.
Good or bad? Don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, it's just deduct this from your character's max sanity
Uh,
or whatever.
Alex, you alright? As I'm coming through the hallway and approaching her.
Should I change that now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's like deducted from indefinite insanity? Or-
No.
Number just changes.
Indefinite is just like a status. So like you're crazy for an undetermined amount of time. You're just subtracting one sanity from what you have right now. It's 80.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's supposed to be a sanity roll.
Oh, should I do that?
Yeah, click on sanity first. Okay, you still lose one.
Okay, so it goes from 80 to 79?
Yeah.
So, like, there's two numbers in the sanity bar. Does it, like, go down for both of them?
Just set it to go down for both of them.
Okay.
My hand on Alex's shoulder and says, Alex, are you alright? As I haven't looked in the room yet.
There's a pool of blood, and I don't know where it's coming from. And, like, it wasn't there when we were looking in earlier.
I kick down the door, and I wave my club as I walk into the room. Who's there?
You kick the door, and it goes into the door frame, and well, it doesn't really open that way.
Because it opens the other way.
It opens out.
So you open
I
the door.
pull the door open, and I say again, "Who's there?"
You also experience this unbelievable stench as you see the blood dripping down from the ceiling. And give me a sanity check.
Okay, so this is just the 1d3 roll.
No, this is so you have to just click on your sanity attribute in general, and we'll see if you pass or fail. Okay, so now you do the 1d3.
Got it.
Okay, so you lose 2 from before.
Whoops. This is quite peculiar. There's blood dripping from the ceiling. Do I see, looking back into the hallway, anything that looks like an entrance to an attic or another floor?
No, this is pretty clearly the top floor of the house.
Okay. I walk closer to the pool of blood and I try to poke the spot in the ceiling where the blood is coming from with my club.
Well, you see the blood run down the chair leg, but it doesn't look like there's a hole in the ceiling or anything like that. It's just oozing through somehow.
I touch the blood on the chair leg. Does it feel like actual blood?
You think back to your many memories of being beaten up by thugs on the street. It's blood.
Oh, wow. Yep, there's no doubt about it. And I say as I look towards Alex and Elaine, this is real human blood.
Well, as I also poke in, I guess.
We should leave and call the police.
Poke in to also check it out if it's actually blood.
Wait, are you looking into the room
Yeah, I'm
now?
looking into the room. Like, everyone thinks there's blood.
Alright, bro. You know the rules. Give me this hand.
I'm checking it out.
Alright, lose one.
Okay. I grip my nose. That's not normal. As I look up at the ceiling, and there's literally would have been a blood stain there if there was like actually something above us. I don't know if the police will be able to tell us what's going on here.
So, if there's a pool of blood lying around in an abandoned house like this that wasn't there 5 minutes ago, I feel like that's the sort of thing you call the police for.
But
Would
what
they
if
even
it's
believe us?
not here when they come?
Or we'll be the
This-
one under suspicion?
This doesn't seem natural.
Are you saying that we're imposters?
Boo!
Ooh.
Boo!
I step down and take like a handkerchief and dip it into the pool of blood.
What are you gonna do? Lick it?
Well, no, I'm just gonna like keep the handkerchief. I would like keep it just to see if it ever disappears or if the blood's like real the whole time.
Okay.
I mean, Philip's got a degree in chemical something. Maybe he knows something about properties of blood or some shit.
What bedroom is this? Did we learn anything about this bedroom in particular?
It was a pretty empty bedroom. There was the bed frame with the grimy pillow, and then the dresser with the raggedy clothes in it.
Well, yes, but I mean the history. If the children slept there and the parents slept in the other room, what could have happened
I
in
think
this room?
There was something about a brother being murdered in one of the articles. Yes. In 1914, the oldest brother of a family went mad and killed himself with a kitchen knife. Perhaps this is where the murder, or perhaps this is where his suicide happened.
Alex, are you standing outside the room right now?
Yeah, why?
The door shuts.
Oh.
What?
The door shuts by itself.
Oh, hey. Try to open the door.
Turn back around as hearing the door slam. Alex, did you shut the door?
I'm trying to slam the door, or I'm trying to open it, like struggling with the handle.
This time it'll work. I kick down the door and say, "Who's there?"
Alright, so Philip, go ahead and give me, or either one of Philip or Alex, give me a strength check. You will get a bonus die to it.
Where do I click? What do I click?
You're probably stronger than I am, Alex.
Wait, really?
All you gotta do is click on your strength thing, and then I'll click on the bonus thing.
I don't think I'm much stronger than you, but
Extreme.
Not like the bonus really matters, but the door busts open, and one of the hinges pops off. Actually,
guys, are you okay?
Yes. Are you saying you didn't close the door yourself?
No, I was just trying to catch my breath outside, and then it suddenly swung shut.
I look at the hinges to see if there's any kind of mechanism that would make them shut on their own.
Doesn't seem like it. It just an empty or just a regular old door, now with one less hinge.
Is the blood still there?
The blood is still on the ground. It's still dripping.
I think we should make our way out of here and perhaps contact Mr. Nod and then look through the books.
Yes, that sounds like the plan. I look into the room one last time, then walk out.
I nervously laugh and say, "Don't you guys want to check the basement before we leave?"
Well, it is locked. We could get a key from him, perhaps.
That was an 100% a joke. I think we should leave immediately.
Oh, sorry. Yes, very funny.
All right, as you leave, Philip, as the last one to leave the room, you notice that the blood stops dripping from the ceiling, but the pool is still there.
I make a note of this, but don't say anything at the time.
All right, so you guys come back downstairs. Are you leaving, or are you still fucking around in this house?
We'll be leaving.
I'm fucking around outside of the house.
All right, you guys exit through the front door. You're back in the neighborhood, and the cigar bro kind of looks at you. He's just like, wait. He sort of like looks really confused. Did you guys really went in there?
I throw the chair leg back inside real quick. The blood-stained chair leg.
Yeah, don't bring that shit out.
Hey, what was that? What'd you toss in there, man?
Oh, just a old cloth. Nothing important or anything like that.
Hey, you trying to start a gang or something?
No,
Oh,
but
cops.
the
I like
house-
this neighborhood.
the house is quite dusty, so I wiped myself off after I left. It's nothing more than just an old rag.
Yeah, get out of here.
Well, let's just see if we can find Mr. Knott.
All right, you guys pile into the car and leave the overgrown, decrepit-looking ass Corbett house behind. So you guys are headed towards Mr. Knott.
During the drive, I'm gonna start looking at the diaries.
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna inspect one as well.
I'm driving, so
Yeah, good for you. Responsible driving.
Don't drive and read, boys. Don't drive and
yeah.
read.
Audiobooks haven't been invented yet.
Elaine, you get a sense that if you wanted to read the books in detail altogether, it would take about 2 days. But as you're checking it out right now, you just continue to see references to the summoning of a particular spirit. It's not mentioned by name, but it looks like W. Corbett was really focusing on this particular spirit. And in Philip's book, there's a section where it is describing a spell called Call Forth the Opener of Ways.
Well, it seems Mr. Corbett wasn't your regular individual. I'm assuming Corbett was he the French immigrant that first came to the house? Or was he like...
The diary themselves are dated to 1870, like before 1870s.
Oh, okay. Well, perhaps Mr. Knott will know about Mr. Corbett a bit. And just, we'll need to take more time to fully go into this. I'll need a bit of parchment and my pen to really take notes on what he was looking into.
What the fuck? They were in the 1700s?
What?
We have paper, bro.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Are you a traditionalist? Yeah, write everything on parchment.
Pardon. Too much time in D&D world.
Yeah.
Alright. On the car ride, or you guys keep glancing at the books on the car ride over, but they give you an uneasy feeling the longer you look at them. And so you arrive at Mr. Knott's place. You go up to his apartment, knock on his door. Come in.
Mr. Knott, we want to ask you a few more questions. We've been to the Corbett house as well as looked into a bit more information.
Hmm. Well, since it's getting to be evening, would you prefer some more tea or another drink?
I looked to Alex and Philip.
Well, we could use a bit of a refreshment after things we saw today. Would be nice to rest for a moment.
I'd take a nightcap if you don't mind.
Maria, bring us some of that 5-year-old red wine that I got when I was down in Florida. And she comes back, brings the bottle of wine and a couple of glasses for everyone. So everyone's got a glass of wine, and he reclines back in his chair and looks at you three expectantly.
We
Well, what
wanted
did
to
you see today?
wanted to know what you knew of the said Mr. Corbett that the house is named after.
Mr. Corbett. When I took ownership of the property, no one actually mentioned anything about the original owner. I did try to look it up myself in some town records, but I didn't manage to find anything.
I don't know if you could do this, but does he seem truthful?
Uh, isn't there some skill? Check that shit out.
There should be.
Psychology?
Psychoanalysis or psychology? Yeah.
I think psychoanalysis is like insanity based. It's like, what does psychology
Mm.
do?
Psychology. We'll use psychology for it.
Okay, psychology.
Nice failure, bro. Oh wait, no, nice. I guess. Fuck. I was looking at Phillips.
Yeah.
He's shit. Yeah. As far as you can discern, Mr. Knott is telling the truth. It doesn't really seem like he knows anything about Corbett, or that he sort of pries into the details of his tenants at all. You also remember that he didn't really know what was going on with the Macarios before they left.
Guessing he didn't know which room the suicide happened in either, based on his lack of details that he provided us in the beginning.
Ask him. How much do you know of the reasons your tenants have deserted the house?
Well, I only took ownership in, I think, 1915, or was it 16? I don't really remember. But when I took ownership, uh, the house was vacant for some time while I had to, spruce the place up, uh, do a bit of refurbishment, and then the Macarios came in.
What we discovered, it was most likely vacant because there was a suicide that happened within the family that lived there in 1914.
What?
A brother within the family killed himself with a kitchen knife.
Who told you this?
We looked into it in the archives of the Boston Globe.
Well, that's not really relevant to what might be going on in the house now.
Well, speaking of the house now, you said that you renovated it when you bought it, but don't mind me saying, many of the fixtures and the furniture in the house broken, very well worn.
His internet's cutting out.
Very cutting out.
Yeah, I got the gist of what he was saying. Well, what happens to the house between when I take primary ownership and when the tenants are living in it is not any of my concern. If you must know, I had to install the plumbing for the bathtub and sink upstairs. I had to replace some of the furniture in the living and dining rooms and also bring in the wood stoves and the oven for used for cooking and heating.
And were you the one that renovated the basement door as well as the mudroom door?
No,
Those were already triple bolted, as to say.
triple bolted. When I took ownership of the house, there were not that many, or there weren't any additional locks that I had installed. If that's what you're asking.
Over to Alex and Philip.
Perhaps those were installed by the Macarios?
It's possible. Not any of my business.
Looks like we might need to track down the family members.
Then, assuming you didn't renovate it, I would assume you don't have a key to either of those doors.
No.
Eh.
Any sort of extra locks that I didn't install, of course I wouldn't have the key to them.
In addition, when the Macarios left, were you the one that boarded up the windows from the inside?
When they left and I had to inspect the property myself, I noticed that there were a couple of windows that were nailed shut. I don't know if it was the case for all of them, but it is possible that they were some sort of paranoid schizophrenics. I have no idea.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
back at the investigation on hand, what exactly are you hoping we'll uncover during our time there?
I just want you to give the house a thorough combing over and then report back to me and give me good evidence that there's nothing going on so that I can use your testimonial and start renting out the place again.
If
So,
there is something
in-
going on?
That there isn't something going on.
But if there were,
Well, then, if you figure out what's going on, then I'll gladly compensate you. I'll compensate you anyway for your time spent, but you need to bring me some sort of evidence of what may or may not be going on there. If there is some vagrant causing the odd noises or lighting in the windows, then if you catch them and report them to the police, and I see the article in the newspaper or the police record, I'll take that. Yeah. Just bring me some sort of proof.
So then you wouldn't mind it if during the course of our investigation we had to break those extra locks that were on the doors to get to the rest of the house.
Not my locks. I don't really care. As long as you don't damage the doors or anything inside too badly. After all,
Yes, of course.
I do have to repair the house and spruce it up for a new tenant.
Purposely don't mention the door that we broke down already.
All right, very well.
Is that all you had to report to me? It seemed like you had something else to say.
Philip and Alex,
Well-
hesitating.
There was Stormer. Very on selling the worst smelling cigars I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you, as a shiftless bum, I've smelt some very bad cigars. What this man was doing was criminal. I didn't want to bother you about this detail, but since you asked,
Mm, quite. Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like you have too much else to tell me today, but that's as expected. It's only been 1 day since you took on the job.
Yes, we believe we might take the night at some point to see what happens if anyone tries to break in or squat in the house.
You mean you're going to try and spend the night in the house?
Perhaps just to make sure there is, like, we'll see. Usually the nighttime will be when people, like squatters or vermin, think it's safe to come out.
vermin, you say?
Oh,
It's possible.
we did see what looks to be like rats could have made their way into the place.
I'll have to deal with the rats once you figure out what's going on.
I think that's all we have to report for now. Thank you for your time, Mr. Knott.
All right, all right. So let's see. So you guys gonna go back now? It's just about sunset.
Walk out and discuss a bit between ourselves. So,
All right, feel free to discuss yourselves. We'll take some amount of a break starting now.
Cool.
what do you guys
Like
want to
5 or-
do?
Well, it looks like not isn't a super great amount of info, so and it's heading towards night. Could head back first, see if we can try to make though I might have some heavy machinery that we can try to break the locks if we want to go do that first. I want to check if anybody at the speakeasy knows anything or rumors about this. And then we might also want to visit the Macarios that were in the sanatorium or their kids that were in Baltimore or something.
Baltimore's far.
Baltimore's pretty far, so maybe not, but the
Pick the
sanatorium's just like out of
sanatorium.
town, just right out of town, right?
So with all those things to do, what I propose is we take 2 days. I can look into the diaries. You can look into rumors at the speakeasy. We can get the equipment we need to break down those doors, and then
Mhm.
spend the night at the place.
Sure.
Perhaps before we spend the night, though, we should take the preceding daytime to investigate the basement.
Ah, yes.
Or the yard.
Who would go into the basement of a haunted house at night?
Yes, who would
Basement
be so
there.
foolish?
Do we want to try to investigate the basement or the yard and like break down the door and investigate those two places before or after we visit the Macarios?
Perhaps afterwards. Maybe the Macarios would have some sort of useful information for us before we go into those places.
Yeah, we could
Yeah, they might have the keys in their personal effects or something.
go back.
Well, they're in a sanatorium, so I doubt they have many personal effects in their custom-made jackets, if you know what I'm talking about.
They also might have
Yeah,
hid
but they
the
probably had
keys
something.
in the house, like
Yeah,
under a
or when
doormat
they
or
bought
something.
in.
So yeah, we can go back to Alex's place. Alex can check in at a speakeasy, see if there's any rumors, and tomorrow we check out the sanatorium.
Okay. All right. You drive back to Alice's pad. Start doing your thing. Alice, are you gonna go downstairs? Are the other two following or what?
I'm
I'm gonna go
going,
check out the heavy machinery.
and I'm gonna go start diary, like skimming and making notes.
Oh, has the blood disappeared?
My handkerchief once we get back to Alex's place.
Check the handkerchief. It's still bloodstained. The blood has dried, so it's now like your usual dried blood color. I don't know, what, black or whatever.
Yeah, brown or black.
It didn't turn a weird color, if that's what you were wondering.
Yeah.
Anyways, I go down, say hi to the
What place is this? What's the name of this place anyway? You're like the main here, right?
Castle Mark Bar.
The
It's
what?
it's my just like location or in my profile or something. Residence.
Castle Mark Bar. Alright, well, it's not too late yet, so not too many people are filing in, but the bartenders there. What's this dude's name? Or what's this person's name, rather?
Didn't make one up for him.
Do it right
Just
now.
improv right now.
Rob.
All right. You walk in and Rob greets you. He's at the bar, cleaning a couple glasses, getting ready for the night. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Hey, got a present for you. Toss the
Present.
cigar over.
He snatches it out of the air and gives it a sniff. Where'd you get this? It's kind of not that great, if I'll be honest. I don't have high expectations for this one.
Yeah, that's why it's free, dude.
Okay. He lights up. Yeah, that's a cigar. That's a good old street cigar if I ever had one.
Yeah, I bought it from this dude right outside of that Corbett house. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, I heard of it. Didn't everyone? I don't know. I thought it was a pretty hot topic a couple years ago, or
Yeah?
when the what's that called? The father, Mr. Macario, he went crazy, and then all I heard after that was the family left.
Hear any other rumors about that place from any of our esteemed guests?
Hmm. The only other thing I know of that not too many people talk about is what actually happened to the dad. I heard that the dad was talking about this ghost that was creeping around the place, and he actually died, knocked out of the second floor window of his bedroom. He says the ghost did it to him.
Huh. So type this up.
You might as well put this in like a text document or something instead of the.
Yeah. We should probably set a little something. Maybe like a spreadsheet or Google Doc or something.
Anyway, why are you asking about that place?
Well, the old distillery broke down and we needed some funding for the new one so I can keep us flush. We got a little back stock, so we're good for a bit, but
Hmm. When do you expect the new one will come up?
well, I got a down payment, but as a favor, I'm looking into the Corbett house for some, swanky dude. So I have to struggle a bit.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, the old distillery should still crank by for a bit, so you don't gotta worry about that. But if you hear any other rumors, knock on my door and let me know.
All right, sure.
All right.
It's when a couple of people start filing into the Castle Mark bar. They all seem to be pretty familiar with Rob, at least, but they don't really pay attention to you.
Yo, toss me a nightcap before I head back up.
Yeah, sure. I guess it'll be a good old scotch. I got a nice bottle from overseas.
Nice, dude.
I pours you a glass.
Cheers. And then I'm gonna head back up and see what Elaine and Philip are up to.
You down your scotch, go back upstairs. Elaine is poring over the diaries. Yeah.
Find anything interesting? Hmm. Well, in that case, I'm gonna see if Philip needs any help with that machinery. I don't know if his degree was in chemical engineering or mechanical engineering. Did I see any of his engineering skills over the last few days?
The last day.
Last day. Picked it up from a group of fight with thugs. Well, do need some extra workers. Just, take a glance to the room where the old distillery was.
Distillery. Yeah.
No, well, no, it's in like another room. I haven't decided if it was like in my apartment or if it's like another room downstairs or something. But that's where all the heavy machinery is too. All right, I'll leave you to it. Yeah, this bedroom's been free ever since my brother dropped off the face of the earth. Used to be our apartment, but well, hope he's out there somewhere. Yep, go missing, and I'm just trying to keep this apartment going along, and well, hoping to still find him one day. All right, don't go staying up tonight reading those diaries. You hear? And I trundle down to either another room or downstairs. I don't know, back of the bar or something.
Oh, you go back to the bar? Okay.
Well, like wherever I put the distillery or the heavy machinery where Philip is.
Okay. So you go downstairs. You nod to Rob and head to the back of the bar where there's a door that's off limits to patrons. And you go down to a basement where some of the equipment for a new set of new new stills and shit basically are being set up. And Philip is down here. Doesn't look like any of the other. Did you hire other people to set this up, or do you just have the parts?
Let's say I just drag some help from like some randos, some like people that I know over.
There were a couple people that you know that are just sort of idling by, not really working since it's about to be time to chill at the bar. But Philip is down here inspecting all the parts, and a couple of the guys are looking at him. So there's Mario, Luigi, and, and
God damn it, I'm like,
Donnie.
Jim, Donnie. Okay, Donnie. Mario, Luigi, and Donnie are sort of looking over Philip right now. And Mario is the first one to notice you coming. Oh, it's an Alex. How you doing?
Sup.
Hey, who is this guy anyway? He just came in here and started looking over at the stuff.
Just some helper out I picked up. Does he look like he knows what he's doing at least?
Well, what am I doing? Is it chemistry? Is it heavy machinery?
I mean, that's what I want to ask you.
Well, I gotta know what check to make out of character, so.
Oh, okay.
Donnie grabs you around the shoulder, Philip. He's like, it's a little bit a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of heavy machinery, mostly chemistry.
All right, all right. Let me see if I can figure this out then. Yes, I can. Count time.
Turns out, in college, Philip worked on a couple of student projects that were um, for distilling solutions and stuff.
I invented root beer.
Yeah, Philip invented root beer. It's not a very successful original brand because bigger companies stole his idea, but he was there. And the distilling equipment that he worked on in college is getting pretty popular now. So he knows what's going on.
All right, not bad.
Yep, looks like this equipment shouldn't take too long to put together. I'd say you're missing just one or two parts, but they shouldn't be hard to find. And once I've got those, I can have your still up and running again in no time.
Well, I can help set that up too. And let me just check if we got some a little like sledgehammer or I don't know, chainsaws were invented yet.
Mm,
Maybe not.
They might have been.
Electric drill or something.
I don't think so.
We're talking cordless. There's no way.
Like a cordless hand drill or any sort of power drill. I don't think so. You have like hand drills and shit, like hand tools and stuff.
All right.
Wait, what are you trying to do with these hand tools?
In case we need to break down the door.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's stuff that you can use. Spot. Well, let's just say that if you come back to get stuff to bust down doors and things with, you'll find it here. Well, we won't get into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
At about this time, you guys have whiled away enough. So unless you are going to stay up and drink at the bar, we'll move to the next morning.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Catch some Z's, okay?
I'll take advantage of my employee discount.
All right. Alex heading to the bar.
Whenever Alex gets back, she'll see that Elaine is still up, like with a little candle, and still going over the notes. Having got lost track of time.
Yeah. All right, Alex, are you just drinking idly, or are you trying to do something while you're there?
Just listening around, seeing if I get like any hot tips from I don't know, just like seeing if any of the customers are talking about like, their business from the cops around the area or like those brats that were hanging out from like Tony or anything about the Corbett house, even though that seems unlikely.
All right, sure. Give me a listening check then. Okay. You sit at the bar, idly chatting with Rob, and you overhear a couple people actually complaining about some up and coming like liquor distributor named Tony, Fat Tony, and they don't have very nice things to say about him.
That Tony. Sounds like a competitor.
You give the people who are talking about Tony a glance, and they just seem like regular people. You don't really recognize them.
I'll just keep him in mind for if he comes up around the business again, or actually maybe I'll ask Philip more details about what he was doing for Fat Tony when he wakes up tomorrow.
All right. So you finish your drinks. You go back. Elaine is still up, reading these fucking books.
All right, Elaine, go to
Uh,
sleep, and I blow out the candles.
And I look outside. I was like, oh, I guess it's gone very late. Well, as they say, it sounds plausible enough tonight, but wait until tomorrow. Wait for the common sense of the morning. H.G. Wells.
Fucking nerd. Alright, you all go to sleep. In the morning, where did you guys intend to go?
Roxbury Sanitarium?
Yep.
Okay, you guys pop in the car, go to the sanitarium. Are you still bringing the diary to have a road trip?
I'll bring one of them, the one I'm on.
You're reading them. And you guys arrive at the sanitarium. It's a pretty sanitarium-looking place. There's a great big featureless concrete building, and there's like a pretty tall fence around it. Not like a solid fence or anything, but chain link and stuff. And you pull up to the entrance gate, and the guard sort of gives you guys a once over. Name?
Elaine.
Sorry, Elaine Devar. And these are my associates, Alex and Philip.
Okay.
We're here to see the Macarios.
Macarios? What? Are you related?
Distantly, yes. We knew we know their children, and their children they just wanted word that their parents were doing at least all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I heard about their kids being sent out of state.
Yes, Baltimore with relatives.
Okay, all right, go in. All right, you guys drive in, park, go inside the front door, and you repeat your story to the clerk, and she points you to, she points you three to like a set aside, isolated room. And let me pull up the notes for this one. All right, so you guys wait in this room for a bit, and then it's like, how am I going to describe it? There's like a table. There's like a partition, right? You guys are sitting down at this table, and on the other side of this like glass window or whatever, there is a guard escorting a man in, and he's got a book in his hands. He sits down and he sort of like looks at you guys with these like crazy coked out like crackhead expression.
Mr. Makaros?
What?
I see you're a reader. What are you reading at the moment?
The word of God.
Oh.
Only God can protect me from the devil.
Devil? And have you met the devil, sir?
The devil is in all of us. He's in me. He's in you. In you. In you.
And was he in your home, perhaps?
Home? I just said that the devil is everywhere. Everyone needs the word of God to shield themselves.
I look over at Alex and Philip, like registering that this guy is far gone. I'm like,
I don't think it helped them out much.
It's very impressive how much you've devoted yourself to God. When did you start doing so?
The word of God has always spoken to me.
But there was no catalyst for...
I listen, and he speaks whenever I am in need.
Does he speak to you through reveries?
Uh, speak you through what? What did you say?
Does he speak to you through reveries?
In the breviaries, the sections of the Bible.
Oh, reverie?
Yeah. Is my internet bad again?
No, you were just saying reverie, and I didn't hear the. So you were like just saying a different word. I through reveries, and when I sit and listen, I hold the rosary, and I think, God, protect me from these devils that plague me and plague my family. And then at this point, he slams down his Bible and he opens it up. And he points to uh, Corinthians 2:9. He's like, by his own weapon is the devil worsted.
Well, I look a little taken aback as he just slammed this shit down. Perhaps we can take a step back from the religion. How, and I don't know how this works, but I think the psychoanalysis skill helps me, like, put off insanity if this is indefinite sanity he has for a bit of time. So let's take things easy. Let's try and remember other things in life, Mr. Macario. You remember your children?
My children have already been taken away from me by the devil.
Yes, they might have been taken away from you, but not by the devil. They are living happy lives. I'm sure you're happy for them, at least in that case. Like, recall the last time you saw them, you were upset knowingly by something with red eyes.
The devil always comes with red eyes. It's one of his many aspects.
What did the devil do to you?
The devil got into my head, and he he gave me nightmares, and he attacked me in my own home.
Threw you from the second story?
The devil sought to cast me down from heaven. I'm a devout man of the word of God, but no such devil trickery will ever stop me from entering the kingdom.
Mr. Macario, were you the one that installed the locks on the door to your yard in your basement?
The seals, the holy seals placed upon the devil will restrain him forever, as long as those who are faithful maintain them through prayer.
Hmm.
All right,
These
Elaine, you wanted to do some hocus pocus psychoanalysis?
Yeah, looking at the description of the skill and says I can.
Okay, it's a failure.
Wait, say it again?
Okay, it's not happening.
Okay.
This dude's a crackhead.
He's a crackhead, bro.
back in.
The sanitarium guard sort of like looks at you two and knocks on the glass and leans a little closer. You know, his wife is here, and she's not as far gone as he is. If you are meaning to talk to her instead.
Turn to Philip and Alex. Probably best if we speak to her then.
I do have one last question I'd like to ask though before we leave, and I turn back towards this crackhead, as you put it. So, what exactly do these seals keep locked away in the basement?
Devil.
And what form does this devil take?
A foul beast. The devil takes many forms.
I turn towards the sanatorium guard, and I do the fingers across the neck, sort of like this isn't going anywhere sign.
Alright, the guard nods and picks up, or he helps Mr. Macario up by the arm and escorts him out. And the whole time he's screaming, "The devil! The devil!" Alright, so he's escorted out, and you guys wait for a bit, and a sort of like thin, haggard-looking woman is escorted in, and she sits down and looks at you three a little nervously.
Miss Macario, I take it?
Yes, my name is Gabriella.
Gabriella, it's a pleasure to meet you. We just want to ask you a few questions about your time at your previous home.
Do you mean the Corbin house?
Yes, that is the one. Tell me, how long were you at the Corbett house?
We were there for 4 years. So we left this year in 1922. So yeah, it's 1922 right now. I'll just declare it.
Yeah.
So we have sort of reference.
What I understand, your husband, who is here as well, began acting strangely during your time there.
She nods. Yes. One day, Vittorio, my husband, was in our room and he was just reading the Bible, and all of a sudden, I heard a crashing noise. I was downstairs in the kitchen, and I saw him fall out of the window on the second floor.
What do you believe caused him to fall out the window?
When I came upstairs, I saw that the bed itself was on its side, almost and pushed up against the window, almost as if it had somehow flown up and knocked him out. Luckily, my children weren't in the house to see this happen. I just told them it was an accident.
Husband believes it was the work of the devil?
I think there's some sort of evil. I hate to say this, but I think there's some sort of evil ghost in the house. I don't know why it would choose to haunt us like this. We pray. We're very pious people, or were very pious people. We were good Christians. We went to church every week. Sometimes at night, I would wake up because I had this awful feeling, almost like something was intruding in my dreams, and I would see this figure leaning over me in my sleep, and I would just close my eyes and try not to think of anything, and then it would be gone.
This figure, what did it look like?
I can't really say. It was dark, and it had these beady, glowing red eyes.
I'm sure your faith was well founded, and it was not because of your faith that the spirit might have come to haunt you. It likely has something to do with the residence. Do you know of the 2 doors your husband installed, leading to the outside and basement?
Yes, the side door and the door to the basement.
Are there keys to open such doors, or did he not think of that as well?
My husband had the locks installed and declared that the keys should be thrown away to, as he put it, seal the devil in the basement. And then when he saw that the presence was outside, or the presence came outside and tried to get in one night through the side door, he had those locks installed as well.
The presence?
Are you
But
sure
sorry.
these were not
Spirit.
just neighborhood thugs?
Spirit. Wait, what'd you say, Michael?
Are you sure that this presence wasn't just some neighborhood thugs trying to break in?
I couldn't say, but I know there was something very strange about the basement.
Could I ask, you shared your bedroom with your husband in the master bedroom on the last room in the corridor of the upper floor, is that correct?
Yes.
And your children shared a bedroom next to yours?
Yes. And at this point, she's sort of looking around and fidgeting. Doesn't look like she's too comfortable with talking more about this sort of experience.
May I ask if anybody used the last bedroom on the upper floor?
No, that was a spare bedroom.
I
Uh,
see.
there was, on the first floor of the house, a storage room just past the front door. In that room, there was a cabinet that was boarded up, and it had some journals in them. Did you or your family members ever read them?
My husband took a look at them once and declared that they were disgusting works of blasphemy, so he nailed it up in the cupboard. Although I don't know why he didn't just throw them out to begin with.
Thank you for answering our questions, Mrs. Gabriella.
Just want you to make sure that you take your time in here to rest up. Your children are doing well in Baltimore, so do not worry for them.
I haven't heard from our relatives or our children in a while.
Well, we've bringing you word that they're doing well, just to sate your mind for the time.
Thank you. And it looks like she's not too comfortable talking anymore, so she signals to the prison guard, or not prison guard. This is the fucking prison. The sanitarium worker, and he escorts her out.
Turn to the others. Well, it seems their family has been through quite a tragedy. Let's make our way out and talk more of this.
Before we go, I would like to ask one of the workers here why she is in the sanatorium, because, at least compared to her husband, Gabriella was much more put together, I say as I tap my head, than he was.
That is true, but she still believes some otherworldly entity was in her home. Perhaps the other relatives did not see it fit that she take care of their kids. But we can definitely ask to see if she's been worse over the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you're just gonna grill a worker?
Yeah,
I'll just ask someone.
You stop a nurse in the hallway. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, hi. My associates and I just spoke to the Macarios. We were bringing word to them about their children in Baltimore. And if you don't mind me asking, it seems as though their mother, Gabriella, was, a little bit rattled, but otherwise okay. Is there a reason that she's still a patient here?
It's not really my place to say anything about that. You know, we're supposed to keep our patients' stories private, I guess I would say.
Oh, but we're practically family. We're just distant cousins of of them, and separated relatives, and we're just bringing them news about their children who we were in contact with recently.
Give me a fast talking
Haha.
check. Trying to
Oh,
Ooh.
just barely.
Nice.
The nurse is a little more receptive to Alex's fast wording, and she sort of hesitates for a bit. Well, she's definitely not as crazy as her husband is, but she told us that she didn't want to leave this facility because she felt safer here rather than in the outside world.
Hmm.
Oh
She
my.
shows this situation.
Makes
what?
sense.
What would you say, Elaine? Is that in character or out?
Oh, that was just talking to Alex and Philip.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we should make our leave then. Thank you for the information.
You're welcome. Have a good day. She goes back to her job.
As we walk out of the sanatorium, I just look to Alex and Philip and say, "So, an already religious man turned fervently zealot after coming in contact with a spirit of sorts?" Seems his madness comes from the the sudden change where everything becomes real that he's been reading about this whole time.
The details are consistent as well. The Gabriella also mentions those fiery red eyes.
I do
Well,
think it's interesting, though, that none of them mentioned any blood dripping from a ceiling like what we
True.
saw.
I think we need to investigate those two closed doors.
as well as look into what uh, Vittoria could have meant by his phrase in the Bible, Corinthians 2:9. However, as it is written, what no eye has seen, what no eye has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the thing God has prepared for those who love Him. It actually fits because she's been spouting out random literary nonsense the whole time.
Alright, shall we drive?
Alright, you guys are driving back.
Yeah.
It's pretty late in the afternoon because the sanitarium is actually a while outside of the city, and cars are fucking slow at this point in time. So you probably don't have too much time to do anything significant during the day.
So we turn back, make sure everything's ready, and perhaps
Yeah.
tomorrow night, or
Has-
tomorrow during the day, check out the doors, and tomorrow night, spend our time there.
Has Elaine finished reading the books?
It's been about 2 days, so yes, Elaine has finished reading the books. So you get 4 points in your Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Oh shit!
You also
Yep.
lose 1d4 sanity right now.
Oh shit! Am I rolling 1d4?
Uh-oh.
Okay, you lucked out. You lucked
Lucked
out.
out.
Not bad.
Okay. And what did I learn?
So, I mean, I already described the general contents of the diaries. Corbett was attempting to summon some sort of spirit, and you surmise that he was using this spell called Call Forth the Opener of Ways to do so. And there were a couple of attempts before he finally got it.
Okay, what happened to him at the end of his diary?
It doesn't say.
Oh, repeat that, sorry.
Oh, it doesn't say. It just says that he succeeded in the end.
Does it tell me anything about what kind of spirit this is, what it's capable of?
No, it's just
It's
It's
just the
pretty much
process of the
it's just
ritual.
pretty much his like attempts at the ritual, the steps for the ritual, and everything. Um, you guess that learning all the intricacies and some of the strange, not quite human language words used in the spell will take a while to get down.
Well,
Does
If
it
you
say
want
anything? Does it
to
say
learn the
anything in the way of spell components? Serious question, though.
out of character, it doesn't.
okay. Yeah, so we get back, and I spend the rest of the night like finishing up the diaries. And finally, when I finish them, I like look over to you guys. Well, Corbett was likely messing with things he did not realize would lead to all of what's happening now. But perhaps that's what is to be said about those that hold secrets. No man for any inconsiderable period can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude without finally getting bewildered as to which may be true. Daniel Thorne, Scarlet Letter.
Dude, I fucking hated that book. I couldn't let myself finish it.
Oh, really?
Wait, what was the Scarlet Letter?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Scarlet
the
Letter.
Scarlet Letter. I was like supposed to read it in high school, but I just didn't.
Oh, I think it was okay. Anyways, well, I don't remember that quote from that book, even though I had it in my education, but what I grew up hearing was three can keep a secret if two are dead.
Well, there are three of us, so are you trying to say something right now?
Shall we grab some tools and decide which door to knock down first, or we're knocking down both? And guess we should decide if we should want to stay in the bedrooms or grab some pillows and, settle in the drawing room or something.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm of the opinion that we stay in the hallways where we can't be mysteriously locked in by any suddenly closing doors.
Still be locked in by the front door, dude.
But that's one less door to have to knock down.
I guess.
You can also set up near the dining room and at least have a table to work and make any notes and jot down stuff.
What if we just uninstall all the doors in the rooms? Like just
That
just
would
like,
take some
unscrew
time.
the hinges.
Well,
We can unscrew the hinges of two doors.
we would have the daytime to actually perform the work. It wouldn't be too big of a hassle.
Yeah, we can unscrew like the front door and maybe like the drawing room door just in case, But then again, if we want to lock something out, that might cause an issue too.
Well,
regardless, go back and spend the night. I think it might be in our best interest to have something better to defend ourselves with than a wooden chair leg. Perhaps, Alex, you would know someone who could sell us something better.
You got any skills with firearms, man?
Well, if I had to rate myself on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd say I've got a skill level of 25 with the rifle and a shotgun.
so you're only accurate 1/4 of the time.
Shotgun 1/4 of the time is all you need to be accurate with.
That is true if you have enough bullets.
I do have a handgun on me, and I'm somewhat practiced with it. Maybe I could stock up on some bullets. Elaine, would you like me to try to find anything for you, or?
I'm not very well versed in conflict, to say the least.
Alright, does the bar have an emergency shotgun that I can borrow? Or do I need to contact one of my sketchy
In
contacts?
either case, I don't.
You know that Rob carries his own gun, but it's not like the bars. It's his that he brings to work.
See if I can borrow one off Rob. Or if you know someone that has a spare or two that you could sell.
Well,
should
there's
also
always Fat Tony, but he wasn't exactly happy with us the last time he saw me.
Oh yeah, speaking of Tony, what work were you doing for him anyways?
Well, basically the same work I was doing for you, except on a larger scale. Fat Tony Soprano's looking to really build up his operation in Boston. He's originally from Jersey, is my understanding, and rented out some warehouses, and he's basically building distilleries in all of them.
Well, my distillery's pretty small scale, but we've got a good business with the bars that we do deal with. I don't need someone intruding on this territory either. So you better not turncoat, okay?
Well, you actually pay me, and he doesn't, so I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Alright, good. I'll grab those.
Hey, Elaine is like putting together. Wait, so you run a distillery?
Well, it's a little under the
No,
under.
no disrespect meant. I was just curious. Those were illegal, are they not? And she looks like conspiratorial, but very curious as well.
Are you going to start quoting laws instead of books now?
No. She like looks conspiratorial. Like she's like basically the sheltered girl that's like, oh, holy shit, wait, we're doing something bad. That's
No,
so
that
cool.
was an in-character
Oh,
thing.
It's illegal, but gotta make a living. Also, like, what, 3/4 of the city still go to these speakeasies, so don't worry about it, girl.
that is true. But on the topic of weapons, we should also keep in mind that if this thing is a spirit, we might not be able to hurt it physically, and if things get truly dangerous, we might want to run.
Well, there's only one way to find out if guns work on spirits, and that's to shoot them. That's the scientific method, after all.
Spoken
We
like a
have a
true man.
hypothesis and we test it.
All right. Well, then tomorrow we set off, try and get both of those doors open, investigate the basement, and set up for the night.
Alright, I'll go see if I can persuade Rob to let me borrow his shotgun.
Alright, head on downstairs. There's Rob. Places crowded.
Rob, you got a shotgun, right?
Yeah, what about it?
Mind if I borrow it?
What? You know I need this for work.
Well, house is fucking haunted. Gotta go shoot some shit up.
Wait, what?
Corbett's house haunted. Gotta shoot some shit up.
You don't really believe it's haunted, right? Besides, what am I gonna use if someone tries to bust in here?
Alright, you know someone else who can lend me something?
You should just be able to walk into what's that place where I got this thing? Harry and Sons. It's a couple blocks away, not too far, so you should be able to get a decent price there. Though they're closed tonight, obviously.
Alright, fine. Also, some dude named Fat Tony's trying to cover up some of the business,
Yeah, I know. I heard about him. He's just some small fry right now, though.
Yep. That guy I dragged in a few days ago used to be one of Tony's blokes, but they didn't treat him well, so you see any of them, you chase him off.
What? That bum used to work for Fat Tony?
Yeah, you tried any of his Lager yet? It's pretty good, right?
Okay. It is pretty good, but no wonder he's not getting it sold anywhere with people like him as muscle.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to grab something for him too, anyways. But on to toes. I'll pick something up tomorrow.
All right. See ya, Alex.
Bye.
All right, go upstairs. Sleepy time. It's morning, and that's where we're gonna end this session.
Good job, guys.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
We're fucking prepared, boys.
Coolio.
I know you said in Session 0 that combat isn't to Call of Cthulhu, but,
Yeah.
you know, if there's guns we can shoot, might as well.
Good luck, bro. I know shit's gonna get bad if we try and fight everything. We're gonna get
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, that it might be a little better if like we had like.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys can literally get killed by a single handgun right now.
yeah, that's a last resort kind of thing.
Alex's small handgun does 1d10, and if it's a max roll, you guys are gonna just fall over.
Yep.
Die.
So what you're saying is, we'll definitely work on the spirits.
Anyway,
Exactly
Fat
what I'm
Tony's gonna come in and just shoot us, bro.
should we put together a Word doc of notes or something like a Google Doc?
Yeah, we can do that. And
Or
compile the
spreadsheet.
stuff we have.
Not a bad idea.
Spreadsheets. Alright, well, before we end, how does the thing work? Because we had skills that we did use successfully, so I marked those.
Yeah, let me open that section again.
Well, you guys had skills you used successfully.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had one skill I used successfully.
There you go.
Use chemistry, I think, right?
Yeah.
Good
I
shit.
used
Yeah, but he's
strength
already
as
good at that shit. Strength doesn't really count. I don't think
yeah,
there's a
strength.
point to mark it. Okay.
Elaine
So
had
you
a lot of skills actually.
Yeah,
I
so
had
you just
3.
roll. You just roll 1d100 right now
Okay.
for each. And if you roll over your current skill, so like if you had 50 in if you had 50 in appraisal, and then you roll a 60, then you get to add 1d10 to your appraisal.
Ooh.
So we
Okay.
get to improve one skill, right?
You roll for everything.
Oh, okay.
Every skill that you had a checkpoint for.
Cool.
We can just roll the skill checks and see. For instance, I rolled over listening here, and then now I roll 1d10.
I rolled 1d100. I'll say that was for like listening. And then 1d10. And you add 5?
You had to roll a 1d10 and then add that.
Oh, yeah. 51 on listening.
Nice. It's a cool system.
Damn, this dude increased his knowledge of chemistry just by staring at things he's already worked on.
Ooh.
Nice.
77.
Now I just need to get my gun skills up.
Oh, another one.
It's okay. I am slowly improving my listening and talking skills.
Hell yeah.
You're very consistent, though. That's been a lot of ones.
Good shits out. That was fun. Good keepering. That's what it's called here, right?
Yeah, they call it the keeper.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
I think we made some decent progress.
Yeah. Damn, I still had a couple more I could use. Now I get to compile more quotes for next time.
Oh, God.
Originally, I was gonna make Alex like a really like, what do you mean ghosts don't exist? But like, then the smell hit. And I was like, nah.
Like, that's stinky as fuck.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Out of character, Corinthians 2:9 is not what
Oh,
Vittorio
really?
actually said.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, that doesn't match up.
But
I just looked at the first.
dude, I just picked like a random book of the Bible that I remembered, and then I just slapped 2 numbers together.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, it worked out.
I thought it was actually inside the fucking Bible.
Yeah, no. It's the line that's given in the scenario is, I mean, it says specifically that it's not a real quote from the Bible. But if you want to know what it is, you need to watch Jessica's stream archive, which it'll probably have picked up.
Wait, stream archive?
She's streaming on Twitch right now, isn't she?
Mm,
Oh, I am.
that's Ash.
Oh, no. I just looked at Wayne and I was like, oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
this guy.
Oh, okay, so I guess he
Yeah,
said it then.
You have a really similar kind of character avatars in this
We
game.
both use Pick Crew, which is great for making fucking character portraits.
Yeah, there's store style. He
forgot
said
the-
something about the devil, right?
I hear a lot about the devil.
Oh yeah, but the quote was something about the devil or something. But like I thought it was an actual quote, so I was like, oh, I'll just make a note of it and look it up, but it wasn't actually a quote. So
Peace.